Well, hello once more. It's a pleasure to be streaming live, and that's what makes this not difficult. You've got to make sure you don't make some big mistakes when you're being filmed live. Anyway, it's good to have you back, and sometimes I do look out there to see the weather. It's one of those crazy days at the moment. We're having 10 minutes of sunshine and then about 10 minutes worth of rain, and it's very, very cold as well. But and I think there's more to come. But all of that aside, let me officially say good morning as I come into your homes live. My name, for anyone watching for the first time, is the Reverend John Mitchell, retired minister of the Church of Scotland. Well, as the new year moves on, there remains a call for continuing prayer for so much that has caused difficulties, it's caused worries, and a great deal of concerns. However, may this time together of viewing bring a sense of calm and a sense of peace. And much that there is, dare I say, little to cheer us, we must never forget that when we journey with God, there's always light to return at the end of the tunnel. Something I simply call faith. The light of Christ, as has been mentioned several times since Christmas, offers a sort of symbolic reminder as we travel onwards under his banner. The mention of light at the end of the tunnel there reminded me of watching a programme recently about steam trains in the 50s, the 60s, and right into the 70s before many of the railway lines and branch lines were suddenly they had been cut back by the Beecham cuts. And I remember being quite upset as a young boy thinking, was there going to be nothing left? But the mention of light there at the end of the tunnel did remind me of watching that programme about these trains. And the journey had what would be called a footplate view with the driver watching ahead when suddenly the train entered a tunnel with no light ahead or even around him. It seemed ages just as suddenly there was light at the end of the tunnel. It was just a pinpoint of light to begin to grow bigger and bigger until full daylight had returned. It reminded me of faith in God works and how faith should be part of the Christian's staple diet. So let's set the scene, as I always say, with that picture in mind. Before we move on to the first hymn, I hope you enjoyed the opening song as we enter the season of Burns suppers. In fact, I think COVID has set so many of these suppers as well that they've not maybe restarted. But there will be some somewhere, but it's always the season. And I always kept that in mind as part of my ministry at this time of the year. And of course, you've got the season of Burns, and along with that, one of his poems, My Love is Like a Red, Red Rose. That was a gentle lead in to worship together, sung by none less than I think it was Kenneth McKellar, whom seniors will remember. If there's anyone below 50, you might not remember who that is, but I know I do as well. I keep saying that every week. But it was a lovely song, and I hope it just the song itself and the music just sort of calmed our soul and gave us a gentle lead into our worship together. So now to our first hymn, which is a bit more lively, I should add, is When the Trumpet of the Lord Shall Sound. Now, you might have already said, not sure of the first line. Yeah, you'll know it all right. So don't be afraid to sing it because the words are coming up. When the trumpet of the Lord shall sound.